Welcome to Permission to Thrive. I'm your host, Suzi Lula. As a spiritual therapist for over 20 years, I have the honor and privilege of ushering women and mothers just like you on a journey from simply surviving to powerfully thriving. I also have the honor of raising our son, Will, who is now a young adult, with my longtime partner, Jamie, so I'm right there on the journey with you. Consider this your personal sanctuary, your space to meet your heart, embrace your messy, and come home to your most authentic, extraordinary self. My hope is that you leave resourced and inspired because you are here to shine. Welcome to Permission to Thrive. Hi everyone, I love this time of year. If you are listening in real time, this is the beginning of December. We're moving into the holiday season. I love this time of year, so I'm going to be doing a series of episodes on how to create the holiday season of your dreams the way that is meaningful to you so that you create a peaceful, rich, joyful holiday season. And again, if you are listening in real time, it's the beginning of December. On December 15th, I'm going to be offering a free soul care masterclass to also assist you to bring in the holiday season of your dreams. I'm going to do an end of the year completion. And also I'm going to talk to you all about my soul care coaching certification program that starts in January 2024. So this free Soul Care Masterclass is on December 15th. Replays will be sent if you can't make it live, and you'll find the link in the show notes, and you will also find the link for my Soul Care Coaching certification that's beginning in January. So I'll tell you more about it on the 15th, but until then, you can look through the landing page. It has all the information. It is a labor of love for me. It is a deep dive transformational program that will assist you to connect to your soul, your purpose, your dharma, your destiny, and then to be able to share that with all those around you. So we're going to move into today's episode, creating your own holiday season. As the outer world becomes more frenzied during this time of year, I always set a conscious intention to become more still inwardly. The more frenzied the outer world becomes, the more still I become inwardly. And that's what I'm going to be taking you through during this episode. So sit back and relax. Just allow this to wash over you, receive, and enjoy. Hi, everyone. Welcome to this week's Permission to Thrive. I'm so excited about this episode. This episode I'm recording at the beginning of December. You may be listening to it at a different time of year. But the beginning of December, things start really speeding up in the outer world. And I wanted to create an episode of creating a peaceful holiday season. When the outer world begins to speed up as it's doing, I consciously begin to slow down internally. And I wanted to offer this because I get so many DMs and questions and emails about how to navigate the holiday season in a way that when you look back at this season next March and you're looking back at how you moved through the holiday season, you want to look back feeling like, oh, I moved through the holiday season with grace, with high intentionality, consciously. I created a peaceful holiday season. I created the holiday season of my vision, of my dreams that was aligned and true to me. So sit back and relax and just allow yourself to receive. Take whatever might assist you to create the holiday season that is in true alignment with self. As I said, as the external world begins to speed up during this time of year. The external world gets busier and busier. I set a conscious intention to begin to slow down. I begin to slow down inwardly. What do I mean by that? I get really connected to my nervous system. I become really interested in my inner energy. Is my inner energy, is my nervous system frantic? Is it anxious? Does my inner energy match this outer frenzy? And I seek and I set intentions to connect so that I can relax, so that I can soothe my inner nervous system. It's so easy to get swept up into the external energy of the season. It's so easy to get swept up into the external energy of the world at any time. So you may be watching this or listening to this in January or March or June. The outer world always has frenzied energy. And so this is applicable, although you'll hear me talking about specifically the holiday season, this is applicable at any time of year. But it's so easy to get swept up into the frenzy of the outer world at this time. Shopping, sales, there's so many sales, gifts. It's so easy to get caught up into the materialism of the culture, the material aspect of the culture. We can put so much pressure on ourselves about purchasing a quantity of gifts, purchasing the right gifts. It can become more about the materialism and what it is that someone wants, and our kids wanting certain gifts. And it's very easy to get swept up and get caught up into the expectations of the culture, the expectations of a capitalistic culture that expects us to buy, that wants us to get caught up into this frenzy. And certainly our kids can get caught up in it. And so it becomes challenging for us to stay centered in our own value system and then communicate that to our children, our family, in a way where we feel like we are at conscious choice around shopping and gifts and capitalism and materialism. So I'm going to break that down as we move forward. It's also so easy to get swept up into the energy of family and extended family. It's really easy to get swept up into the emotions, into the unhealed energy from the past, into patterns that have been ongoing with family members. And often we come together at parties and holiday gatherings and we haven't seen each other. And so we haven't had the time or taken the time to heal old patterns, to create new patterns. And so we come together and there are many unexpressed, incomplete, unhealed, energetic patterns that are all being projected onto each other a lot of the time. It's very easy to get swept up into that. If that is happening in your world, have grace, have compassion for yourself, be gentle with yourself, become aware that this energy is so easy to get swept up into. It's also so easy to get caught up into the doing, into the busyness. We live in a culture that tells us the more you do, the busier you are during the season, perhaps then you'll bump up into your worth. The more you do for others, the more parties you go to, the more parties you give, the more decorations you put up, the more you do will bring you some sense of worth and value according to our culture. It can be challenging to give yourself permission to slow down, to become still, to become aware of what is important to you, and then to allow yourself to move through this season from your being, from your heart, from your spirit, from your soul, from your higher self, from your own sense of worth, from your own sense of wholeness, from your own sense of divinity. That I am good in my own skin. I am comfortable in my own skin. I am enough. I need do nothing to be enough during this season. I come into this season already enough. When I come into this season already enough, how might that change the way I move through this season? And then certainly emotions can be at an all-time high during this time of year. This is where you really need to be so gentle with yourself and others. This time of year can bring such tender, fragile, vulnerable emotions. There can be so much grief during this time of year, and grief includes anger. Grief includes unprocessed rage. Grief includes that sense of loss and sadness and loneliness and aloneness. We can be in the midst of family, in the midst of parties, and we can feel so utterly alone. If this is speaking to you, please listen to the rest of this episode as I'm going to guide you and take you through 3 simple but profound steps that you can embody that will assist you to create the holiday season that is true to the holiday season that you want to create, that is alive within you. So let's just all take a nice deep breath together. Exhale with a sigh. I've been speaking a lot about this outer, frenzied, busy world during this time. There are expectations placed upon us culturally, from our family, from extended family. There are so many expectations placed upon us. We can place expectations upon ourselves. It's just very easy to get pulled in to the outer energy of the season. So I want you first and foremost to create a mantra for yourself, an affirmation for yourself, that the busier the outer world gets, the more frenzied the outer world gets, the more still you will seek to get in your own consciousness, in your own heart. The busier the external world, the more still you are seeking to get within yourself. How do we do this? The first thing that we do is become very clear. What is your intention for this holiday season? When you do get to the other side of the holiday season, when it's January, when it's next March, I want you to really imagine yourself looking back. What is it? How is it that you wanted to move through this season? That will serve as your intention. If you could imagine yourself looking back at yourself, what would have been valuable to you? How would you have most liked to move through this holiday season? Would you have wanted to feel so connected to your children? Would you have wanted to have patience to feel that connection? Is it the peace of the season that you are really looking for? It is the joy of the season that you are really seeking to connect with. Are you seeking to really know your own worth and your own divinity? What is your intention for this season? You could have a few qualities, but begin to call forward a quality, a few qualities that are important to you to experience. Maybe you are looking to have childlike wonder and awe during this season. Perhaps you are seeking to move through this season with a sense of lightness and joy and playfulness. Perhaps you are looking to move through this season very deeply connected to yourself. Maybe you are looking to be present at parties and not be swept up into food and alcohol. Maybe you are just wanting to stay very present with yourself and make conscious choices while you are at different parties or family gatherings. Maybe you would like more alone time during the holidays. Maybe you would like less alone time during the holidays. What is important to you? It is very important that you take some time before you really enter the season to become clear about what is important to you. If you don't know what is important to you, you will get swept up into the energy of this outer world. When you take the time to become clear on what is important to you, what is meaningful and valuable to you, what is the way that you want to move through the season, then you set that as an intention, and you can more likely, more powerfully, more consciously create that as we move into the season together. So let's just take a moment, become still, and just begin to imagine yourself moving into the season, and just begin to ask yourself, what do you value about this season, this year? It may be different from last year, and it will be different next year. What do you value this year, in this moment of your life where you are? What is valuable? What is meaningful to you? Let some of the values come forward. Let some of the qualities come forward, and begin to set an intention for yourself. My intention is always around slowing down, around being very inwardly connected. I really love just peaceful evenings in my home, lighting candles. I know even many of you who listen obviously have young children. You may be thinking, oh my God, that's just not possible. But I can tell you that, yes, it might not be possible with little ones running around. But I will tell you, even when Will was young, Will, my son, I would light candles, and he would light candles, and he loved lighting candles in the evening, and we would dim the lights, and our home would be filled with just the light of the Christmas tree, some candlelight. Dimming the lights can create an ambiance. It can create an atmosphere. Yes, he may have still been running around, but having the light, the natural light of candles and fire, and the light of the tree, and the little lights around the house, there is an ambiance that is created that even if your little ones are running around, it can assist you to move into the stillness within your heart, within your nervous system, within your energy, so that you can be more still. And then maybe after your kids go to sleep, you just sit. I love sitting in my living room with my journal. I love sitting in my living room just staring at a candle, just feeling the beauty of a tree and the lights, the stillness in the evening, cup of hot chocolate. Whatever it is that is meaningful to you, you want to just allow that to come forward right now. And what I will tell you 100% is, the simpler it is, the deeper it is. The simpler it is, the more power it will have for you in your life. Now, when speaking about intention setting, you want to go a little bit deeper and ask yourself also, what is the true meaning of this season for you? This might not even line up for you religiously, culturally, spiritually, but you're going to move through the season anyway. What is the meaning that you want to bring into your world, into the season? You are at choice to find what meaning this season has for you. Connect with that inwardly and bring that with you wherever you go. No one outside of you may even know what you're doing. You may be at a party. You may choose not to drink because you like to go through this season in a sober way. You might want to really be connected to yourself in a very kind, loving, supportive way. You might be looking to connect with your own sense of worth in the midst of parties where your family is gathering, where perhaps you have never experienced your worth in the midst of your family before. That could be a very deep, profound, private intention that you're setting for yourself. And no one else needs to even know what's happening. It can be very deep, very profound, very private, but very real. It could significantly change your holiday season from now until the rest of your life, because you took the time to ask yourself, what is the meaning that you want to bring into this season? Don't wait for this outer world or family members or your kids to bring something to you about this season. You get in touch in your own heart of what is meaningful to you, and then you decide, you choose, you decide to bring that into, whether it is private and no one knows it, or perhaps you really talk to your family. There have been years that I've moved through with more private intentions. There have been years that I've really talked to my family and said, I can remember one year in particular, I really needed to have a more inward, quiet season. And so we talked about it in our family. And I said, I might not go to every family gathering. I might not go to every party this year. It's cool if you guys go. Sometimes I'm going to need to stay home and just be present with myself, especially when Will was young. I just needed to. You might not. You have to find what's right for you. But I needed to give myself permission not to go to every gathering all the time, to stay behind, to restore my own energy so that I could show up and be the mom to Will that I wanted to be, and to help him really stay connected to what the real true meaning of the season is, so that he wouldn't get swept up. Of course, our kids are going to get swept up into the energy. That is their world. And it is incumbent upon us to be that peaceful place inside, to be that centered place, and to model to them what it is that we practice that allows us to stay connected to what's really important to us, so that we become a model for them, so that as they grow older, they feel our energy, they take on our energy, and then they can give themselves permission to move through their outer life connected to what is truly important to them. So this might involve some quality family conversations where you talk to your family about what's important to you this year, and then you ask each one of them what's important to them this year. Maybe one of your children is very social, and it's so important to them to go and be connected at gatherings. Maybe another one of your kids is more introspective, and they like to have experiences that are more quiet, that you can take them out to a park, or you take them driving around to see the lights. So each one of your children or each family member may have their own idea of what's important to them. And some of our richest family conversations, we're going around the dinner table or after dinner, just going around and asking each other, what is meaningful to you this year? What kind of holiday season do you want to create this year? And then how can we all make this work for each other? And then you create a spirit, a collective spirit of cooperation, so that, oh, well, that's right, mom wants to be a little more quiet this year. Or maybe you're having a year where you want to be more active. I want to be more active this year. I want to go ice skating this year. I want to go on hikes this year. Whatever it is and wherever it is that you are in your life, allow yourself to feel fully self-expressed, and then give everyone in your family also a voice for them to be self-expressed. Most often, when we are fully self-expressed, we then don't need it to go our way all the time. We can feel more relaxed because we've been heard. And so we say to each other in our families, I hear you, I see you. How can we make this work for everyone? So intention, to get clear, to have a clear intention of what's valuable, what's meaningful to you, and then to have the courage in the midst of family members who might have different ideas, in the midst of a culture that definitely wants you consumed by capitalism, consumed into materialism, to have the courage to create your own holiday season in the midst of an energy that barrages you with other ideas. So first, It is to have the intention, a clear intention of what's meaningful to you, and then to give yourself the permission to have your own values, to find the courage inside of you and give yourself permission to have the courage to create your own holiday season, even if it looks different than everyone else's. And this can be from something as simple as being at a party, deciding that you want to be alcohol free and having someone come up, oh, come on, just have a glass of wine. Oh, come on, have a glass of champagne. Or perhaps you are wanting to eat really clean. And of course, there's going to be so many desserts around. And someone is saying, just have a slice of pie, just one slice of pie. It's not going to kill you. People will want you to get on their bandwagon, and how to feel so comfortable inside of yourself that you can say, oh, thank you so much for offering. Not tonight. Not me. Not tonight. Not now. No, thank you. And you say it with such clear energy inside. Perhaps you're at a stage where you're not wanting to give so many material gifts. Perhaps you want to give more experiences. And you just say to everyone in your family, I'd rather be gifted an experience. Gift me a massage, gift me a hike, gift me some time alone. You don't have to gift me with a necklace or earrings, or I don't need anything else in the material world. I'm good. Maybe gift me with nothing but some time together. Maybe gift me just spending a little time together. So it is in the courage to be true to yourself, the courage to be true to yourself. Create the holiday season that will light you up from the inside out. Because here's what I really want you to hear. The third and most important part is that there is a meaning to the season that will light you up. You are meant to move through this season deeply connected with your truest self. You have all the power within you to create your day and your month, your weeks in a way that is in alignment with that which will light you up, that which will bring you joy. And that might even be in the midst of you might be feeling very lonely and alone and grief-stricken. And that might be where you are moving through the season. And I promise you that if you move through the season with intentionality, giving yourself what it is that you need to move through that vulnerable time in a way that you need to move through it, I promise it will be a very powerful healing time for you, a very profound time. This is really about being true to yourself, being true to what it is that you need during these next few weeks. So with that means you have to ask yourself, what is it that I need during this time? And you need to get very clear, what is it that I need? And how can I give that to myself in a way that nurtures me, in a way that fulfills me from the inside out? So for instance, for me, I'm an introvert. I need a lot of alone time. That can be challenging to have alone time during a time of holidays and lots of parties and gatherings. So for me, meeting my own need for alone time often means I have to have the courage not to be the nice girl, not to always go with the flow, to be able to say, you know what, I'd really like to stay home tonight. For someone else, if you're going through a really lonely alone time, maybe you need to have the courage to reach out to someone and to be vulnerable and to call someone and say, you know what, I'm going through a really vulnerable time. I'm feeling so alone. I would really appreciate wherever you're going, can I tag along? Or you call someone and you say, you know, I'm really going through a challenging time. Would you be so kind as to have tea? Would you go to a tea? Would you go to a lunch together? People just would love to be there for you. There is someone out there that would love to be there for you. And it might come in the most unexpected of ways and be the most unexpected of individuals. But the universe would never set you up to be going through a hard time without knowing that there is someone or something. You might be called to go to a movie all by yourself, and it is sitting in that movie. It might not even be another human being. What you need might come through a character in a story on a screen. You might go out to a restaurant by yourself reading a book, and you're sitting there, and whatever you read in that paragraph with just the environment that you're in is the perfect thing for you. So what I hope that you are hearing is that there's no external formula, but I promise you that within you, there is a prompting, there is a knowing, there is a guidance, there is clarity within you. And when you have the courage to follow it and create your holiday season that might not look like what someone else's is going to look like, and you have the courage to walk your own path to the beat of your own drum, when you are true to yourself, your entire nervous system relaxes. You will create an inner alignment. You will be in your own inner flow. And ultimately, this time of year provides us with such powerful energy. It's the energy of the divine. It's the energy of the Christed consciousness. And I don't mean that in a religious way. I mean that in an all things possible consciousness. There's all things possible, all possibilities. This is a time of unconditional love, first and foremost for yourself. Can you feel that? Can you feel that there is a potential and a calling for you to know love, starting with yourself, like you have never known love before? A self-love. When you commit yourself and dedicate yourself to knowing a self-love during this season, like you've never known before, you will also then be the bringer of that light, the bringer of that love everywhere you go. There will be a radiance about you, a vitality about you, an energy about you, a softness about you, a brightness about you when you first and foremost give it to yourself, because ultimately, there is an alignment that is seeking you. There is an alignment that is calling you. There is a great flow of energy that is calling you. And when you are not fighting against the current, but when you find your own current and your own flow and your own stream by what is important to you, and giving yourself the courage to fulfill that and manifest that and create that in your own way, not in a way that others would have it, but your own way, you become part of your own flow. You're going downstream, you're going with the current. And then you have all the energy of that current with you. And I promise you, when you are true to yourself, it feels so good. It feels so good that when you are on this stream and in the flow, you will meet your highest self because it feels so good. You will meet your highest self. You will meet your most divine self. You will meet your most authentic self. You will meet your childlike nature. You will meet your awe and curiosity and wonder. You will meet your highest self. You will meet your worthiness, your wholeness. And isn't that what this season is all about? So I'm going to invite you now, if you will, I'm going to take you through a process. So if it feels right to you, just gently close your eyes, and I'm going to take you through a process of meeting your highest self. I'm going to take you through a process of creating your own holiday season. So as you begin to close your eyes, maybe place your hand on your heart, become still, become aware of your breath. Just begin to ask yourself, what is my intention for my holiday season? What would mean so much to me? What is one thing, something simple, one quality, something simple, something that's real, that's valuable, that's meaningful to you? What would matter to you? Just let this bubble up into your heart. Listen deeply. And as you begin to listen, begin to form it into an intention. My intention for this holiday season is. My intention for this holiday season is. And let some of the qualities and the values come floating to you. And as you begin to hear that, I want you to begin to ask yourself, what needs within me need to be fulfilled in order for my intention to manifest? Perhaps there were some needs within you that were not met as a child. Perhaps you are coming into this holiday season with some unmet childhood needs. Become aware right now, what might some of those unmet childhood needs be? There is a child within you who has needs, and you first want to ask that child within you, honey, what is it that you might be carrying in your adult body that are still unmet childhood needs from the season? And as you allow yourself to hear some of these unmet childhood needs from the season, be saying to yourself, oh, honey, I see you. I see that this was not met as a child, and I am here to help you fulfill now. I am here to help you fulfill needs that were unfulfilled as a child, but I'm here now. I'm here now. I got you. I got you. I am here to assist you to fulfill your unmet needs. And as you see how you can fulfill your own unmet needs, you will begin to see how your intention is going to be manifest more easily. So you have your intention, you have your unmet needs, and you have your way of fulfilling your unmet needs. It's very important that you take care of your own needs first. So you make a commitment to yourself to the best of your ability. You will care for your unmet needs first and foremost. Perhaps you were not seen as a child. Perhaps you were shamed as a child. Perhaps you were very lonely at this time of year. You are saying to yourself, I will carry you close to my heart during this time. Perhaps it's important to you to work out, to be physically fit, to have the energy during this time of year. Perhaps it is important to you to eat well during this time of year. Perhaps you are thinking about drinking less alcohol or no alcohol at all. Perhaps you are thinking about staying more connected to music and inspiration and nature and art and the natural world more than the material world. Whatever it is that you need, become keenly aware, astutely aware, and in tune to your needs, and make a commitment that you will care for your needs first so that you can then be there for others around you. So you're becoming clear about your needs, especially any childhood needs that weren't met that might come up during this time of year. And you are becoming clear on how you will care for these needs inside of you. Let this be your year. This is your time. This is your time to heal these unmet needs so that from this season forward, you move different. You are birthing and rebirthing yourself. This entire season is about birth and rebirth. So you're giving yourself what it is that you need. And now I want you to begin to say to yourself, I am giving myself the courage. I have the courage to follow my own true soul's promptings and callings. Whatever my intention is for this holiday season, I am giving myself the courage to create it, even if it looks different from culture's picture of what the season should look like. I am giving myself the courage to create my own holiday season, to have my own values. I can have values that are different than culture's values, than a materialistic, capitalistic society's values. The ultimate opportunity of this season is to align with your own soul, Meet your own divinity. Meet your own highest self. So move into this space of feeling so expansive, the good feeling that you get when you meet your own highest self, when you follow your own soul's promptings. Just give yourself a moment to meet your divinity. Meet your highest self. Meet your sense of worth. I see you. You are worthy. I am going to move through this season connected to my own worth. I am going to move through this season already knowing I am enough. I don't need to do anything to be more enough. I am enough as I move into the season. What is seeking to birth in you this year, this season? What is seeking to be born in you? What is seeking to be within you? And you listen, and you make this agreement with yourself. This is the year that I am birthing into my highest self. This is the year I am birthing into my most conscious self. This is the year I am birthing into my most expanded consciousness. This is the year I am birthing into more creativity than I have ever imagined during the season. This is the year that I am birthing into a more natural, organic connection with the holiday season than ever before. This is the year I am birthing into a freedom, a liberation, away from materialism, away from consumerism, away from needing to do my holidays the way my family members do their holidays. This is the year I'm giving myself permission and courage to birth myself into my own holiday season so that I might meet my own divinity, so that I might feel so good about this season that I'm creating. This is your year. And then whenever you're ready, gently open your eyes. So this might be an episode that you come back to over and over and over again to give yourself that permission to create the holiday season where you will meet your own divinity, where you will be so true to yourself that you create the peace and the joy and the patience and the enthusiasm and the connection. It is deep connection. It is intimacy with each other that we are each and all seeking. So fill your own tank up first so that you are ready, so that you have the bandwidth, so that you have the open heart to deeply connect with all those around you. This is what I wish for you this holiday season, that you feel so deeply connected to yourself that you are then available to feel so deeply connected with those around you. So much love, everyone. Give yourself permission to thrive this week, and see you next week. So my hope is that you had so many takeaways from this episode, and that you will come back each week throughout this month, because I will be continuing to give you all guided processes and all kinds of guidance to assist you to create the holiday season that is meaningful to you. Again, on December 15th, I'm going to be teaching a free soul care masterclass. The link is in the show notes. So be sure to sign up. You'll get a replay even if you can't make it live. I'll take you through some processes there for a year-end completion, what it is that you're seeking to birth for 2024. And also in the show notes is a link to my soul care coaching certification program. You can look through that. I'm going to also be talking about it on the 15th. It's the most amazing, transformative 5 months where I take you through a deep dive, transforming ourselves so that we can best assist those to transform around us. So much love, everyone, and see you next week. Give yourself permission to thrive this week.
Thank you so much for listening. If there was something in this conversation that spoke to you, we'd so appreciate it if you would take the time to subscribe, leave a 5-star review, and share this episode with women and mothers you know, because you are here to thrive. See you next time.